In this episode, we're going to be going over the Week 6 weekly matchups.
And crazy news. But more so, the most important thing we're really going to talk about is why the heck we're making an episode at 10 p.m. Who knows? But find out. Tune in, guys.
Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Brothers. Let's meet your host. From the cold and harsh distant land of Mother Russia, lover of romantic walks from his bed to his couch, Boris Wagner. From the sunshine state of California, lover of barbershops and sleeping in, Richard Wagner. Thank you for joining the Fantasy Football Brothers for another episode.
Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Football Brothers. My name is Richard Wagner.
And I am Boris Wagner.
And yeah, it is 10 p.m. currently. Listen, as much as I want to say we spent the day researching and doing research, there was a portion of the day where we did.
Absolutely, Richard.
But I would be wronging you to say that that is what we did.
He would be wronging you. You know, we just had a lot of... We're actually watching a really exciting show on CBS, which is called...
The
Amazing Race, which is insane, and it's very addicting, especially when you haven't seen any episode before. I could not keep my eyes. It's like that song. Can't keep my eyes off of you. Yeah, it's kind of like that, man. It's so insane,
It's so intense, yeah.
Yeah.
And so me and Boris's fiance applied to be on the show, and we'll keep you informed if we make it on.
Vote for them to yes.
Yes, sir. But yeah, we did do some research. We bought PFF, so that's exciting. You know, we're gonna do a lot more research coming to our stats because extensive. But I feel like our eyes are pretty good, and we have the eye test, and we're looking at stats. But I think you can always get better. And in looking at,
we want to give you the best.
Yeah, we want to give you guys the best. But other than that, I'm still a little bit depressed at the whole Le'Veon Bell situation.
Someone just told me, someone just asked, is Le'Veon Bell gonna be better than Sech? Like, is he gonna overtake him? And it's like, honestly, like, you just don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
I mean, you
There's
don't
a
know.
Possibility.
Anything is possible right now. I really still think Bell has it. That just because Bell has it, that doesn't mean, Sech doesn't have it.
Just because
also.
you think Bell has it doesn't mean he has it.
There's that too.
Yes.
So I right now, the way I'm looking at it is they're both RB2s. Maybe Bell's a little, maybe like an RB3 for now, especially in the beginning. But I think they both have a chance to carve out some pretty important roles for you.
Yeah, I mean, taking a step back and not being
taking maybe a seat back.
Taking a seat back. Yeah.
Taking
my back to the seat. Not being a biased CEH owner here. I'm probably more excited. That we've had some time to kind of let this process.
Right.
Realistically, I'm honestly more excited for Bell. Like if I was a Bell owner and a CH owner, I'd be more excited for the future of Bell. Not only because he escaped Adam Gase's clenched hands,
but who knows what's going on.
But I think that he has the more there's an instance where Bell becomes the dude, and Bell. There's an instance where I think Bell is a more talented back than CEH.
I don't think that, and that's not taking away anything from Sech.
No, he's just a rookie.
Right, and we have checked out he in the limited amount of times where he was blocking, he just hasn't been the best.
I mean, it was 8 times.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's a very little amount of you can't really tell too much, but for the limited amount of times, he's not the best pass blocking.
Right.
But then again, that O-line, isn't the best as of right now. So Bell is known to be a really good pass blocker. He's really good at catching the ball. He's good at goal. Like he is the back, like potentially 2 years ago that anyone would want, and we just have to see if he still has it.
Yeah, I think a lot of different things happen. I mean, for sure.
Of course, we're starting our show with that.
I know, it's just so funny.
I mean, it's the biggest.
I know we can't get out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, how you feeling? Anything else you want to add?
I'm just my biggest thing is like, who's the guy? Who's the TE? Like you're dropping off.
Right.
You don't have the top 3-4 dudes. Like you're not gonna. You don't. Most of the time, you don't have them. Right. So what are you gonna do? Who's the guy, man? Is Austin Hooper the guy?
Right. There's
Ebron the guy?
There's a lot of those like Austin Hooper, Ebron, Hayden Hurst,
Right.
Jimmy Graham. Mike Gesicki you can throw in there.
Those high-end tight end twos kind of.
Yeah, I would say it's not even. It's higher. I mean, I would say it's competing for that
tight end one.
Tight end 7 to 12 range that you're getting into there.
Right.
Even higher potentially. And I would say as of now, try to get as many of them on your team. Try to see
if you are locked, if you, as much as people, a lot of people say don't roster so many tight ends, but if you have your wide receivers and you have your your quarterback, your one quarterback who maybe had already a bye, or or you have all your wide receivers, there's nothing wrong to roster 2 or 3 tight ends, man.
Yeah, if you have a Kelsey Waller, Jonu, or whatever. Yeah, because that's it's going to be an important position for you to figure out.
Right, because if you figure out Austin Hooper, maybe he just gets 8-9 targets a game now. That's insane,
100%. Well, let's get into the news. I would say a big news. The Patriots get a COVID scare. They cancel practice, but it looks like the game is still going.
They literally said there's no chance. They're we're doing it no matter what, because they're done with what's gonna happen. They already had their bye,
right?
So
yeah, 100%.
They don't want to deal with that.
Deontay Johnson not active, will not be playing. So Chase Claypool is looking.
Yeah,
pretty
I was
good.
so excited for Chase Claypool, bro. Doesn't have the sexiest matchup. I mean, clearly it's I think actually the cornerback that's guarding him, which is what was it? Ward. I think it's.
Who are they playing? Cleveland. I forgot.
What's it? Not the best, but Cleveland has been one of I think they're the second worst pass defense. They're susceptible to big yardage, and I think it's gonna be a pretty high end game. A lot of TDs thrown. I'm really excited. I mean, he played really well. The only thing I'm not excited is the moment I actually am, I had him on my bench. I can play him. Got 45 points. And I'm playing him in two other leagues.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought you were usually what happens in fantasy is you don't play him, he goes off. Then
there's
you play
that
him,
no,
and
there's
he duds.
that easily too.
That
but his
usually
metrics,
is what happens.
thing is we talked about this. His metrics, everything shows
yes
that he can be a wide receiver.
And especially Deontay not playing. Yes. I mean, it should be.
And the way
for
Juju
is
playing, I mean,
non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson not playing. So Fulgham. Seems like a good awesome flex.
He's going to get a lot of targets.
Yeah, it should be the only guy there. Melvin Gordon questionable with sickness and DUI suspension. He got sick now. I did not hear about this.
Well, I think his conscience felt bad about getting DUI.
Right.
And he was like, "Listen, I'm gonna hurt myself by getting sick."
Right.
I don't see why.
Every time you say sick, it kind of sounds like saying "sech," and I get a little excited. Sech. So Philip Lindsay, potentially.
No. And they're saying they're still thinking about the 3-game suspension. It still can happen for the DUI. So yeah, Philip Lindsay is a great piece to hold. I mean,
he's always on your bench. I'd grab him. I mean, sorry if he's on your waiver wire.
Yeah, I think he's a good. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely along all the Pollard, Edmonds. He's just a great piece. If Melvin Gordon in general, gets injured, or he's just a great person to handcuff, anyways.
Mo Alley Cox not active. Don't know why we're talking.
So Burton. I mean,
yeah,
he had 8 targets last game.
Right.
Not crazy about Rivers. Rivers does love to target that tight end, but it's so hard to just
it's hard to bet on Philip Rivers.
On Philip Rivers at this point, especially when I feel like they have such a juicy matchup where they can just literally run the whole time.
Right. Leonard Fournette questionable. Could be another big Ronald Jones game. Probably will be.
Probably. At this point, they might just questionable his whole life. But bigger, I don't know why we're not saying this, but Julio Jones.
Right.
Julio Jones and Devontae Adams, but Julio Jones more than anything is active, which is surprising.
Right.
Very surprising.
Very surprising, and I'm very scared for him, man.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, hopefully, he hasn't practiced, so this isn't looking good. Hopefully that him and the doctors are like, yeah, this is fine, you're good. It would just be really bad if he goes back on the field and messes up his hamstring even more. But Devontae Adams is playing as well.
Excited for him.
AJ Green expected to play. I don't think you're playing him, though.
No.
Perryman expected to play.
I'm a little... you're not playing him. I am a little... just a tiny bit excited just to see what happens. Because, you know, he had that whole thing with Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
he has actually really good metrics. Like, he's a good player. Again, it's the Gay system. Probably nothing's gonna happen. Crowder's able to somehow manage. So
yeah,
who
I mean,
knows?
in those last games to end off the season last year, I mean, he was a baller. So definitely exciting. Landry and OBJ both questionable.
Yes.
Mayfield questionable. So that whole team is questionable.
They might not all play.
Kareem Hunt as well. Is a little still his groin I think is still a little bit messed
Probably
up.
lingering a little.
DJ Shark questionable, which is surprising. I think that I thought he was gonna be called out.
He was, and he just got a limited. He got a limited today,
right.
so
he might actually play. And then Slay expected to play, no bueno for Marquise Brown.
Right. So Slay was in a concussion protocol, and he passed it, so he's gonna play, which is no bueno. Slay is gonna be shadowing Brown the whole game, which is no buenos.
Yeah, this should be a really. We'll get into the match. This should be a really big Mark Andrews game, man.
I agree.
Well, yeah, let's get into the weekly matchups.
Weekly matchups.
What'd you do?
This is so exciting to actually hear them say that.
Right.
We don't even know this guy.
We don't. Found him on Fiverr. Hey, he does the trick though. It's awesome.
Shout out to Fiverr. They're gonna sponsor us one day.
Texans versus Titans. We start with the 11 o'clock games. So Titans have this is gonna be an interesting one. Titans have a neutral pass matchup, and then slightly a positive rushing matchup against the Texans. And so Tannehill, right now he's graded as the 8th overall PFF quarterback.
He is balling. He's
playing really well, man.
I want to show this finger. Like, I'm not gonna do it, but this is what he's saying to Gase all day, every day.
Right.
He looked like trash, and now he looks just like a monster, bro. I am so upset, cause bro, in any not only in redraft, bro, but in Dynasty, where you could have got Tannehill,
right?
It's insane.
It is wild. Derrick Henry hasn't been able to produce. I wrote that because it's been looking scary.
No,
man.
yeah, he doesn't look good. The O-line does not look good.
So
I think
bad.
they
had one
keep getting injuries, so doesn't look that good. But
this should be a great
he's
game.
getting a good amount of touches still. I mean, he got 19 last game. In my mind, I feel like more than less, he's destined to get at least a touchdown a game.
And I think he got 19, a lot to do with their turnovers, the Buffalo Bills turnovers. So they were just getting into really great field position and scoring fast.
Exactly.
I think if they didn't turn the ball over,
then it would be the usual 25 touches for him.
Right. A.J. Brown has a really plus matchup against Bradley Roby, who hasn't been doing that great. And after A.J. Brown said, "What's up? I'm back in the league" last week.
Dude, he looked like a baller. Of course, I have to play him, but Jesus, he looks so good.
So good.
I was wrong again?
Yeah. Jonah Smith, great matchup against Lonnie Johnson Jr. Jonah right now is the second highest graded PFF tight end. So this should be a big game, man. I think Jonah Smith out of nowhere just randomly solidified himself as a top 4.
I mean, I don't know where there was so much hype. There was a lot of hype on him in the offseason, but no one knew he was going to be this good. I just didn't think the team would pass this much.
Right.
And I think Tannehill was going to be clearly this offense is going to it's going to be knocking at the championship run.
Yeah. And then I think with Humphreys coming back, I don't think you can play Khalif or Humphreys or any of those guys.
Yeah.
On the Houston side of the ball, Deshaun Watson has a positive passing matchup for him against the Tennessee Titans. So he should have a good game.
Clearly you're playing him. Clearly you're playing Tannehill.
Clearly I think you're playing Will Fuller. I think
He's
you have
playing
to.
Will Fuller.
And Brandon Cooks, I think.
Brandon Cooks, yes. He actually has a pretty good, pretty decent corner matchup. Yeah, and if he got 13 targets last game, I mean, could he dud you completely? Yes, but I think you
just have to play him.
You just kind of have to play him.
And then David Johnson, man, he has a really negative running game script. Tennessee Titan is really good, and the Houston O-line hasn't been the best. So I think this could be a really bad game for him.
If you can pivot, kind of would, but I don't think you can.
Usually you can't.
Yeah.
And then, who's Houston's tight end?
Fells.
Who is Houston's tight end?
Fells,
right? Fells and Atkins. I don't think you're playing either
one.
Then we got the Detroit versus Jacksonville game.
Stafford actually doesn't have a good PFF.
Right.
So overall, he has not been doing that well. He's been very inconsistent. I mean, clearly, we've seen it. I mean, against the Saints, he looked pretty bad. He's getting the points, but he just doesn't look good doing it. And that could be a little bit because Galladay is a little hobbled. Marvin Jones is not really doing much. I don't know. It could be a lot of different things. But as of right now, that team is just not meshing well. Their running back, it's Adrian Peterson. He's
They got a 40-year-old in there running.
Yeah, I don't know, man. At least he's not Frank Gore.
Yeah, I think Adrian Peterson is a fine spot. But didn't they say he was questionable or something?
No, and then he practiced.
He
actually, that's one thing that I didn't mention. He did practice. He's a great matchup against the Jags. Great matchup.
He's definitely becoming the better version of Frank Gore right now.
Oh, easily.
And then Kenny Golladay, you got to start. I think Marvin Jones, we're still fading until he shows us something.
For me, it's a drop.
It's a drop, I think, until he shows us something. Jacksonville side of the ball, James Robinson, you got to play him. Even though he had a quiet performance last week, you just kind of have to ride that train.
Right.
Minshew, you got to play. I think he's been really, really well this year. He did have that one dud, but other than that, he's been getting you like
at
20
home.
points.
So they're playing at home again. A little scary. He might not have DJ Shark.
I think if DJ Shark doesn't play, you might want to pivot.
I'm still like somewhere in the middle because the funny part is that guess what?
The most
during the Miami game, that's when DJ Shark didn't play. So I mean, there is that potential, like no doubt. But if DJ Shark plays, I would say Shenault is like in my mind. I mean, we saw the metrics. I mean, we saw the game script or the cornerback. He is a must start. If he
doesn't play, you're saying.
If DJ Shark does play, I'm saying
he's a
because
must
if DJ Shark is covered by the best corner.
Got you.
Then Shenault.
And if he doesn't, he's not a must start.
I'm just saying then that corner might pick him up.
But he's still a must start, especially if DJ Shark doesn't play.
For sure. Yes. But I'm saying like
he's a must start.
I think he's a must start in every the way he's been balling, bro. He's leading them in targets right now.
Yeah, man. Then we got the Chicago traveling to Carolina. Mitchell Trubisky's just been Nick Foles. Look at that. That's how bad he's been looking. Nick Foles is in there. Nick Foles, I don't think you're playing him. He hasn't been doing the best. But Jimmy Graham, surprising a tight end. I think you can plug him in.
I think you can go worse.
I think you can go worse. Allen Robinson, must play. He's such a monster.
Start. I don't care if PFF says it's he's guarded by the worst. I mean, at this point, he's just getting enough targets.
Right.
He's that whole team.
100%. And then David Montgomery, you got to play based on this matchup.
Based on them actually targeting him in the pass.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Montgomery owner, you're definitely excited based on what happened last week. Definitely much bigger than you'd ever thought you'd get. Much more production.
Clearly the much bigger.
Much more production than you'd ever thought you'd get out of him. Carolina, Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's a decent stream.
Robbie Anderson has a pretty hard matchup. I think DJ Moore actually has the easier matchup versus the corner. But I don't know if you're gonna if you have them both.
If you
probably
have Robbie,
starting.
you're playing. I think DJ Moore. You can flip.
If you can. Just depends, man, what you have.
Just depends how deep
you can ask us. You can ask us if what your situation
Discord,
is.
You can ask her.
Any questions you want. And
then Mike Davis is an absolute
must
start.
Christian
McCaffrey, who he's pretty much saying.
Literally.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, you're doing so good. We don't even know. Do we have a Christian McCaffrey on our team?
Literally.
They're saying, by the way, as of right now, he's going to be activated week 8.
Right.
I think more so week 9 because week 8 is a shortened week. They're playing on Thursday.
And honestly, if you're a Christian McCaffrey owner, as much as you're in pain and need him back, you want them to wait as long as they possibly can.
Absolutely, because high ankle sprains and what he got.
You don't want him coming back and being Alvin Kamara last year.
This is as perfect as it can be, honestly. Yes. As much as it's sad, it's super perfect.
It's amazing. You want him to be fully back because
you know what they say, once you go back.
You go what? We got Atlanta traveling to Minnesota, which should technically be one of the highest overs, but realistically, it's probably one of the lowest.
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's hard because to me, this whole Matt Ryan situation, even Cousins, like I don't know. It could be like a whole thing where like they just run the whole time.
It could be 7-10, or it could be like 40-43.
Literally.
Yeah.
So
it's really hard to gauge.
It's hard to gauge. I think you have to play Cousins. This is as juicy of a matchup as
you gotta play Cousins. You have to play Thielen. I think you have to play Justin Jeff in this matchup. You have to play Alexander Madison. Must start. All of those guys.
We have them ranked as like our top 3, top
4, whatever. And then Atlanta, Matt Ryan. I think you can give him a chance here with Julio back.
Yes.
I think this is where you see.
And this is the moment. This is also a moment where I'm getting a lot of I made a post on my Facebook and social media and stuff, asking who are you dropping, right? And majority of people are actually saying Hurst. So this is actually a moment. So you want to probably wait at least 2 games. Like if Julio Jones, in my mind, plays this game healthy, he's healthy
if he actually plays,
and maybe another game where like he's fully healthy and he's good, and Hurst does bad, then you can drop him.
100%. I think as much as I say this is the game, you probably give it 2 games because if Julio comes back.
Like he's probably not on a big snap count.
Yeah. I think they limit him. And who knows, man, if he even plays the whole game. I think Calvin Ridley, you're starting.
Super sad. Calvin has juicy. Like,
Uh-huh.
he's favored on that cornerback by like a gazillion.
Yeah. Then we're going. Oh, and Todd Gurley. Literally. No, he is on Atlanta.
Yeah, must start at this point, bro. He's balling.
What he's doing.
He's
he's
balling off like 12 carries, bro.
Baltimore at Philly. Lamar, you got to start.
Yeah, even though this matchup is not the best for him throwing, it's better on the run. But clearly he's saying,
It's Lamar Jackson.
I don't want to run too much, but I also don't like to throw.
What's that voice, Boris?
I don't know.
Is that your anime voice?
Me depressed that I have Lamar in 2 leagues and he's just not doing as much as I want.
I was trying to trade all my Lamar shares going into this year. I did not believe in that.
You were like you were left and right about it, bro.
Left and right about
Yeah, you were like some moments you were like hype on it, some moments you weren't. Like
I mean, I
like up and down.
I've tried to trade him away in every league. I mean, I definitely had Mahomes over him. And then to start,
and I had Mahomes over him too.
To start the year, I was like, Lamar's the guy. Well, after week
That's
1 or week 2. Yeah, I'm saying after we saw week 1 or week 2.
For sure.
Then
that makes sense.
And because Mahomes did bad, didn't throw.
I don't care if Mahomes has two bad games, 3 bad games.
Right.
I'm still not worried.
And then we got Marquise Brown, who was a very, very, very hard corner on him. I think if you can pivot, I would.
Oh, it just sucks because I'm like, bro, I got 2 beast wide receivers in my highest league. DJ Shark, Marquise Brown. No matter what, I could just put him out
in your flex. Right?
In my flex, sorry. And then I'm just like,
right.
Do I put Gibson over Marquise Brown?
I think you just got to roll with Marquise there. Then we got Mark Andrews. As I was saying,
we got a Discord question.
Oh, we got a Discord question. What is it?
6th best for the league. I'm surprised. Picked him up and dropped Preston Williams. Okay, there was no question. We just actually told guys, it's a sit and start questions on our Discord. By the way, the Discord, you can join it in the description below. We just told him, and it is true, that Austin Hooper has been the 6th overall best tight end, just overall play this year. And so he dropped Preston Williams because the thing is Preston Williams had a great year, had a great game, but overall he has a lot of wide receivers. He has good wide receivers where I don't think he would play Preston Williams, but his tight end is like, he does not have a good situation with tight end. So we told him, he has Jimmy Graham. Why not have Jimmy Graham and Austin Hooper, and you can decide, week to week what's happening in that situation. So that is it. That is what we're saying.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Boris. I was responding to that.
No. And I am proud of you, Richard, for responding.
Thank you.
See, we're really quick. Even if we have an episode, that's what I'm saying. We answer Discord first.
No matter what we're doing.
No matter if I'm pooping.
In the middle of our
what's your favorite word again?
Clenched.
If I'm clenched while pooping, I'll still do it.
Mark Andrews, man, I think Mark Andrews, I mean, there's no point to say it because you have Mark Andrews, you're playing him, but he's definitely in lock to have a huge game.
Speaking of which, someone asked me, like, I have Robert Tonyan. Like, that's how much the hype is on Robert Tonyan after that game, without Adams. So it's like, I had Robert Tonyan and I had Mark Andrews. Who do I play?
Mark Andrews, especially with Devonta coming back. Come on. And then the backfield, I'm just staying away, man, between Mark Ingram, Dobbins. I'm just not playing any of them.
Yep. Hopefully. I have to. In a dynasty league, I just literally have to.
And then the Philly.
Actually, don't. Wait, I don't have to because I made a trade.
Oh. And what would you trade for?
I don't want to even say it.
Okay. And then Philly, we got Carson Wentz. You're probably fading him, especially against this matchup. I would say Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders is the only play that I kind of... I mean, Fulham
but
for sure.
Rough. It's rough. And
Fulham and Ertz.
And Ertz, you kind of just have to.
I would say Fulham is a decent flex only because of the target share that he's going to.
What else are you going to
do? And Ertz, because Ertz, hopefully maybe
you just got to close your eyes and just pray.
Wait a minute, he got a touchdown. Take 6 points? 7 points in PPR? I'll take it.
Denver, then we got Denver going to the Patriots. Do you even want anyone?
Yeah.
Who?
The guy that I want, I don't want Cam Newton.
I'm saying on Denver.
Oh, on Denver? I do not want anyone on Denver. Absolutely not.
Zero. Patriots, Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton's a great play. If it's not super flex and you
for sure, I think he is a good play. I think it's hard not to because he could easily, even if it's such an easy matchup. I look at it. It can go. Easy matchups can go so many different ways. That's the problem.
I actually don't look at it the way you look at it.
But see, I know. But like, look at a game earlier,
right,
where they just completely demolished,
right,
and he did it. He got like 12 points that game, maybe even less.
right.
Like, I'm just saying, like, it could happen. In this game script, like, one, it's not easy to run.
But what I'm saying is that although yes, that can happen, I don't even envision it like that.
You just don't. If you envision Denver being able to like.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that. I think there's a percentage chance where that does happen, but he gets the points.
Right, there is,
like,
for sure.
It's
There's
hard to, that they're
hard
into
not to
and
play
he
him,
doesn't
for
get
sure.
the points. You know, I don't think
If
any
you
of
have
them
him,
is
you
a
play
lock.
him. I hear you.
Yeah, and I think you're playing Julian Edelman.
You're playing Julian Edelman.
I think you're playing James White in a PPR league if you need a
and I think
back.
Damian Harris is a solid play.
I think Damian Harris and Rex Burkhead, solid.
Yeah,
Damian Harris for sure more than Rex Burkhead.
Right. I just think they're gonna ground and pound that game. They're gonna run.
Right. Then we got Cincinnati at the Colts. I feel so bad for Cincinnati. 2 hard matchups.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, don't play him.
Bro, this is the way it's crazy, bro. Like, you clearly have to go by matchups. People were so hyped on Joe Burrow, right? Used waivers, like, got him, used a lot of fab, right? Then he's had these matchups, right? Trash, and they drop him.
Right.
And you have to, like, look, bro, like,
right.
You have to know your O-line's trash.
That's another thing with the whole Giants offense, man. Like with Daniel Jones and Slayton and all of their pieces, Evan Ingram. I mean, if you look at who they've been playing, or even look at Houston, right? What happened first 3 weeks? I mean,
yeah, Houston, yes. The problem I have a little bit with Giants is I think Giants is a little more trash than we think.
But they also had very
but
very
they
hard
played the
matchups.
Cowboys, and and Ingram got 2 targets. I'm just saying, like.
Yes, they also had good
and
matchups.
Slayton did really good though. Slayton
Right.
did amazing.
I'm just saying they had
I agree.
hard matchups.
You know, they did have hard matchups, and for the most part, it's hard. But I don't see any single situation where you actually play Daniel Jones.
Right.
But Burrow, clearly he's shown a lot of promise. Like, he's been balling with 20 points, and when you're playing like really, really hard matchups,
Yeah,
like
and you're a
Steelers, Ravens, like,
what do you expect?
yeah,
Joe Mixon, I think if you can fade him this matchup, I would. But you
Yes.
probably got to be playing him depending on your situation.
right.
What's his name? T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, I think, are starts for me. I don't know. You might be lower on T. Higgins based off this
I
matchup.
am lower, but to me, you could still do worse in flex.
Right.
Like, as a flex option, as a Higgins, like, it's not the worst.
Yeah. AJ Green, you're not playing on the cold side of the ball. You're playing Jonathan Taylor. You're not playing Phillip Rivers. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor has a great chance to finally
do it.
get some carries, get a good amount of carries, and do
I
some
think
stuff.
T.Y. Hilton, man. I think T.Y. Hilton, you can do worse.
He
as
has
a flex
he has a good
play.
matchup.
Yeah, and I
He
mean,
might
he
not
did
need
pretty
to
good last
throw
week.
it, but yes, he got a good amount of targets.
So I think he's on the up and up, which I need because I drafted him in every league. Washington
In every dynasty league,
in dynasty league.
which is the perfect, because you want to in dynasty guys, you want to draft someone that's 50 years old. It's the best.
I mean, if you can get him in like the 40th round, why not? Washington at the Giants. It's scary, man. It's scary for Washington with whole Kyle Allen coming back in. Terry McLaurin, I'm a little scared. If I had a great pivot, I'd probably pivot. If I was deciding between him and another really good guy.
The moment you pivot.
Yeah. Logan Thomas, I'm not playing. He's been trash. Anyone else in that offense?
My boy. Speaking of which,
Antonio
my boy,
Gibson?
they just got a really, 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 really big offensive line piece.
Sick.
Huge.
They need that.
So that's gonna help them tremendously.
Yeah, I think Antonio Gibson definitely has a chance to go off in this game based off the Giants
Giants
as
are
a
just
whole
trash.
team. And then on the Giants side of the ball, you got Evan Ingram, which I think is just a bench spot. I don't think you could drop him, but I think
No, I think there's a good amount of people dropping him. I still think he's too talented.
in a world where you know what's so funny? 2-3 weeks ago, everyone had a tight end one. Like it was locked. Like Mo Ali Cox was there. Like so many good tight ends. And then literally in 1 week, there's probably like only 4 guys that you're like, yeah, they're
you're
good.
like okay, you're pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting a tight
and even
end.
with Jonnu, you're still like.
I mean, at this point, I think you're pretty happy. But yes,
you're happy, but like still, he's no Kelsey like
no,
Waller.
he's just dependent on like at this point. Clearly, like his PFF is good because he's really good with the ball. You know, getting open. Like he's just an overall good football player.
Right.
But he's kind of touchdown dependent, as opposed to a Kelsey.
Right.
There's no one like a Kelsey, even a Waller. Like Waller's getting the targets.
100%. Giants, Evan Ingram, and then I think
Slayton
Slayton is a great. You got
even though Washington has been pretty decent against the pass, Slayton has just been killing it.
Devontae Freeman, man, this has been actually surprisingly good. I think you can throw him in
He's
your
a decent
lineup.
play.
Yeah, and then Golden Tate, I think you're probably not playing him.
Fade him.
Fading him. Then we got Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Cleveland, everyone's questionable, so you know how that goes. I think Kareem Hunt must play. I think if OBJ plays, I'm probably, depending who I'm pivoting if I can.
Like someone just asked me actually Singletary or OBJ, and I said OBJ because the Bills have been just trash running the ball.
Who are the Bills playing?
KC.
Kansas City?
Yeah, I just think they have...
Yeah, I'd probably go OBJ then.
That's the thing, like, for OBJ, at least he can get, like, I don't know, a big, like, what he did.
Right, like a 60-yard
like a 60-yard, play or something like that, like, at any single time, just one of those. But Singletary, like, to me, he's a touchdown-dependent guy at this point. Right. Yeah, not that safe again. I don't like any of the Bills running backs.
What was that?
It's like a little schmucks.
Little schmucksies. Jarvis Landry, I'm probably fading.
Well, Hooper. Yeah.
Austin, what?
No. I'm okay.
I'm
like
just saying
as a
against
flex.
Pittsburgh, like him being questionable.
Yeah, for sure. You could do better.
You
could also do worse.
For sure. It just depends. Austin Hooper, though, yeah, man. I think he's a great guy. He got 10 targets last week. Great guy to
every
try
single
out.
game. He's got more and more snaps, more and more targets.
Yeah.
And he's getting like more than 80 or more % of the snaps, bro, as a tight end. So that's amazing. So
and I mean, the good thing is that we've seen him do it. Like he did it in Atlanta. He was
talented
the number 1 tight end last year for a stretch.
Yeah.
Then on the Pittsburgh side of the ball, I think you're playing Ben the way he's been playing. You're playing James Conner.
And Cleveland is one of the worst pass defense. So
right.
Yes.
You're playing James Conner. You're playing Claypool. You're playing Juju. I would say. I think you just have to name value, and then like
you trade him, bro.
Okay.
Hopefully he just has one game and you trade him.
And yeah, I mean,
because there was that one game that he balled out. I think it was against me, where he hit 2 touchdowns. Literally, that was his best game.
Yep.
You should have traded him.
Yeah. I'm still hurting myself for not trading Lockett for like Tyreek Hill.
I know, bro. That's wild.
All right.
He'll be back.
Jets at Miami. What a fun game it's gonna
be. Perine, baby, all day.
Perine. I'm excited to see what happens between Perine and Gore. The coach did say he wants. Well, I don't even know if I can call him the coach. A man dressed in a green suit who stands on the field says he wants to give Gore less touches, right? Did he say he wants to give Perine more touches, or did he say he wants to give Gore less touches?
He doesn't feel like it makes sense to just continuing giving Gore all these touches. So he wants to give Perine the chance.
I think
whatever
Crowder,
that means,
right?
And whatever that means in this offense, with this situation, I mean, Bell couldn't even do it. Maybe he didn't even want to. Understand.
Right.
Perine is young. I think it's okay to stash.
Right. I
think he's a great stash. Because at this point, there's not a lot of running back stashes that you can be like.
The running back, what's it called? The running back environment, or the running back, just environment is
situation.
So beat up, man.
Yeah.
It's literally like
everybody's like, I'm done with fantasy. Like, I'm so done.
It's so bad. I mean, I think it's crazy how it was go running back early this year, and it like clearly was the way to go because
100. Like I am so upset.
Yeah.
To not at least go 3 running backs.
3 in my first 4 or something.
Yeah.
3 in my
at least.
Yeah. Same.
Because
definitely.
the trades, bro. If you got 4, let's say you got 4. At this point, you're 100%. Like you would be okay with wide receivers. There's just so many of them.
Yeah. Imagine if you went if you grabbed like Zeke, Sanders, Aaron Jones, James Conner.
Right. Bro, and then how much you can so I'm saying you can get a wide receiver plus.
Yeah.
It's just
you could trade like James Conner for like
Lockett.
Like Lockett, yeah, probably.
I mean, at this point, yeah.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah.
So Perine, Crowder, I think you're playing him. He's just been doing too well. How did he do last game?
Must start.
He
balled.
Right.
It's just too good, bro. It's like it's crazy because everybody always has him ranked like 30th,
right?
And then he's like wide receiver 1, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 1.
Miami, I think Gaskin is as a must start now.
Must start.
He's definitely solidified himself into a high end. Breda's
clearly the number 2. He's getting a little bit of his touches, but Breda, if he gets 15, 16 touches, 4 or 5 catches a game, and he's getting the goal line work clearly as of right now, I think he's a great play.
I just want to mention my boy Chris Herndon. I just wanted to mention his name because it's so sad, man.
It really
I feel so bad for anyone who plays on that team. But hopefully he gets out of there somehow.
Let me just say something. We have a couch. We have an extra room. Hang out with us. I'm sure it's better to hang out with us, watch some football games, and chill there.
Oh, yeah, 1,000. And we pay less. So if you're into
that
pay less,
but he still has that contract. I'm sure he'd be able to get money.
Yeah. It'll offset. Miami.
Dipset.
So yeah, Gaskin must start. I think Fitzpatrick, the way he's been balling out,
Must start.
you got to play him, man.
Even though I can see them not throwing, like he's not throwing the ball. He doesn't even need to throw the ball that much right now, bro. He's throwing like less than 30 passes.
Good, man. He's got his mojo. Sucks he took him this long. But he's balling.
I don't know. Man. It's just like clearly with him, he's probably not in the best teams, not in the best systems. He has to like learn it. It's like thrown into him so quickly, and this
here they're just like do whatever you want.
Do whatever, bro. Like the first year. I mean, this is the same. Like he played Miami last year,
right?
You know, so I mean, he's learned a lot about it.
Right.
He's gotten used to it, and he looks good.
Yeah, Devontae Parker, I think, is a great start this week.
Great.
And I think Preston Williams, you could potentially throw them in there and pray.
And Gesicki, decent.
Gesicki, I would have above Herndon, Hooper, all those. Not Herndon, Hooper, Graham.
Yes.
I definitely would want him more. Green Bay traveling to Tampa Bay. It's gonna be a good game. Our resident Green Bay fan is very hyped for this.
Right.
Yeah.
Guess what? Cornerback is the number 1 rated cornerback.
Zaire Alexander.
The Green Bay has the number 1, bro.
He's
dude,
a
if this team just keeps picking up and becoming a better defense with the way the offense is playing.
If they can stop that run, man, that's pretty much it. Maybe they shouldn't have drafted Love.
I know, but it's great. They're still doing this with this baloney. With all this baloney, like trades, like getting Love.
Right.
Like wide receiver going down, Adams going down, Lazard, Adams.
Like yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is playing at a next level, man.
Jesus.
Aaron Rodgers, you're playing. Devontae Adams, you're playing. Tonyan, I think if you don't have another tight end, I think it's a great play.
Just to see if he does anything near what he did.
Yeah, just pray. And then Tampa Bay, I think even though Mike Evans is going to be guarded by Zaire.
Very hard matchup, man. Very hard.
Yeah, I think you probably just have to throw him in there. Like, what are you going to do?
He's just targeted in the red zone so much.
And then Chris Godwin, pray. I mean, he's back, so you kind of have to play him. Like
probably will be in a snap count. But you gotta, you kind of.
I think you just have to go with the talent, man, and just hope that they
because I think it is gonna be a high scoring game, so the ball has to go somewhere.
Yeah, 100%. And
Ronald Jones, good play. I think he's a good play.
Right. I think Ronald Jones is amazing. When Leonard Fournette is on the field, like he was looking really good.
Really
last
good.
Week. Really good.
I just traded him.
Super sad that they got Leonard Fournette because I feel like Ronald Jones could have been such a great fantasy back if they didn't. But yeah, his value just goes to nothing.
I literally traded Ronald Jones for Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I mean that's
in a dynasty.
So easy.
I mean,
Ronald Jones to me becomes nothing with Fournette on the field.
And then you kind of need a quarterback when Prescott gets injured, and you need two QB.
I hear you. Scotty Miller wouldn't play. By the way, they also people are saying they don't think Ben's gonna be back next year. I don't see it.
No way.
But a lot of people are saying that.
I don't see it.
And then our last game, the Sunday night game, Rams versus San Francisco. My boy Cooper Kupp about to go for 4,000 yards.
Yeah, and my guy is playing it sucks. Clearly, my guy is the number 1 guy, Woods.
Yeah,
and you pay a price because you have the best cornerback on him every single game.
We got a question from Blue Crew. We'll do this last matchup and then we'll answer your question. But yeah, Cooper. So the way we were talking about this, right? So clearly, Robert Woods is their 1. I can't argue with that. But in my opinion, I think Cooper Kupp is the fantasy football number 1 guy to have on that team because as we can see, Robert Woods is taking the better cornerback.
Right, but as of right now, just to be fair, I think in PPR he is ahead of Kupp by a little bit.
I think by 1 spot,
barely.
Right,
but I'm saying in the sense of targets.
In terms,
targets, he's getting more targets.
He's getting more targets. I think he's gonna have the weaker matchups, and Kupp's matchup is looking juicy this week.
Yeah.
So I would definitely be playing him. So I wouldn't be touching that backfield. I would do everything I can to not play Henderson, but like I get it because he's been so efficient.
He is one of the one of the most efficient running backs when he gets the playing time.
PFF's like top 5 graded running back.
Really good. But he did really good off not that many touches last game.
He's just been very efficient.
Very efficient. Yeah.
So I would try.
We expect Akers. The problem is if Akers wasn't on this team, I would say hands down this is the guy.
Right.
I don't know how much Akers just they utilize Akers.
I mean, he got 9 carries for 61 yards last week.
Balled.
Amazing. And then on the San Francisco, and Jared Goff, I feel like isn't the worst. You could.
He's great. Yeah.
San Francisco side of the ball. don't play Jimmy just so you don't have to cry when he gets benched. And then George Kittle you're playing. Raheem Mostert you're playing. Debo. I would throw Debo in.
Yeah.
I think you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, Blue Crew. That's our weekly matchups. Let's answer your question. He says, what up, guys? I need one flex starter. Hollywood Brown, Kupp, T. Higgins, or Claypool. Just reading Deontay Johnson is out. Does Claypool become a must-start?
He is a must-start.
That's so funny because we were just talking about Kupp.
He is a must-start, but it's so hard for me to just put him ahead of Kupp.
No, I think Cooper Kupp is the guy to go there.
To me, he is also a must-start.
Cooper Kupp's a must-start in this matchup with that cornerback.
The cornerback matchup is very sexy. The guy is like ranked like a gazillion, like it's like he has nothing on him, and I think it's as much as San Francisco played bad. I think it's still going to be a pretty high-scoring game. I think San Francisco can score the ball. They have all their pieces there. I think they're going to score, and I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. And I think Kupp is going to get enough targets, man. And the thing is, like, San Francisco is really actually, like, as much as Rams want to run, they're, like, turned into San Francisco where they want to run.
Right.
San Francisco is one of the, like, I think the best against the run.
Right.
So you're not going to be able to run as much as you think you're going to have. So you're going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah. And I just want to say big shout-out to Blue Crew Chep because you're here. A lot of our videos, you ask us questions, and we really do appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. Really
I don't know if you are joined into our Discord yet.
Join our Discord if you haven't. Because it's really fun there.
It is really fun in there. We got a lot of cool people. We actually got another question from Kashif Mostafa. What is up?
What it do?
Kashif Mostafa. My receiver core is the best part of my team. I have Hopkins, DK, and Ridley. Woo!
You don't even need to put running backs in there.
Literally, just leave them empty. You think trading Ridley for Michael Thomas is a good idea when he comes back from injury?
I would say yes. I'm on the hype of.
I'm gonna say no. I'm going to say rest of season, I probably want Ridley. As crazy as that is.
I probably want Michael Thomas.
Yeah, it's really close, man. It's really, really close.
But I think as of right now, what you have, like, as much as Matt Ryan has been playing bad, like, overall, he had one done. That was disgusting. But overall, Ridley has just been balling. He's safer. But honestly, I feel like Michael Thomas is safe. I don't know. I would say Michael Thomas. It's hard to imagine Michael Thomas not continuing to have all that target share and just ball out.
Right.
My only worry is maybe the injury, but I think with not playing that last game, if there's no like issues with the team of punching his teammate or whatever, and he's healthy, which clearly I think he is, I think he's a must start, man.
I like the trade 100%.
But you're kind of also like what's the word?
Yeah,
you're like leveling the.
It's a
horizontal, vertical.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
What is it?
I don't know. But it is a. What is the word? What is the word where you are not improving or not getting worse? It's a
lateral.
Lateral. It's a lateral trade, man. But to me, honestly, I would just ride the hot hand, and the hot hand is Ridley. And
but imagine getting Michael Thomas.
I get it. I totally get the face name value, 100%.
And it's not like he just did it 1 year. Like
right.
Michael Thomas has been so consistent.
Right. But it's also like Ridley has been balling out and is like the top 5 wide receiver right now. So
for sure. And personally, I think doing it or not doing it, I think you're good.
Yeah, I think either way, man, that is a crazy wide receiver.
And if you want to try out Michael Thomas because of that name and you're like excited about getting him, I don't think there's anything bad about that, man.
I think it's a coin flip, honestly. And like I said, I would just go with the hot hand, and that's why I didn't end up trading Tyler Lockett for like a Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Just going off the hot hand, but
as much as people are just nasty about Drew Brees, I think he's one of the most still underrated. Like he's so efficient, even on the PFF. Like he's just really efficient for what he does. He just does what makes sense. If he needs, like he's down, he needs to throw it down. He needs people, like he's gonna do it, and he clearly did it last game against the Chargers when it needed to happen. And I think having Michael Thomas like Drew Brees, clearly they're like homeboys.
I mean, Michael Thomas 100%. He comes back and he's a top 5 wide receiver.
Easy,
1,000%. But I just think Ridley is currently a top 5 receiver. I don't really see him falling off because he's proven that he can do it with Julio or without Julio. So I think it is a lateral move at the end of the day. And it's kind of who do you think is going to be the number 1 wide receiver? And honestly, if I'd have to put my money on it rest of the season, it is Ridley for me. Just based off like Julio might get even more injured. He's clearly looking Ridley's way. Like, it's a lot. But you have a stacked team. Well, yeah, man, that was our episode, our weekly matchups. If you guys enjoyed, hit that subscribe button. Our goal is 40 subscribers by this Sunday. We'll see if we hit it. It's in one day. I'm pretty excited. I can't believe we wake up tomorrow and then we go to sleep and then we wake up one more time and it's football. We're going to be going live on here and on Facebook before Sunday morning, going over some start-sit questions. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
And join our Discord. The Discord is going to be in the description below.
Yeah, join our Discord if you want to talk more. We have an awesome community.
You can ask us any questions you want at any time of the day.
If we're sleeping, thanks y'all. Have a good night, you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, man.
We
much
appreciate
love.
You, brother. And yeah, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. We really do appreciate you guys. We're so excited to be hopping into more of the PFF grades and getting more into the research. And yeah, guys, we'll see you on Sunday morning.
Peace. Good luck this week.
Good luck, everybody. This has been the Fantasy Football Brothers, and we will see you next time.
Okay.
Thank you for joining the Fantasy Football Brothers for another episode. Visit our website at thefantasyfootballbrothers.com. Check us out on social media at the Fantasy Football Brothers. See you next time.